Alrighty, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode. Oh, well, there we go. We'll wait. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Afromat Show. I'm your host, Afromat. Today is the 1st of October. It's spooky season. We're entering October, so getting close to the end of the year, rounding that fourth base. Quarter four, whatever. I really don't know the business terms. Quarter three, I think, or maybe it is quarter four. I don't know, but this podcast is a professional business, so I have to know quarters and ROI, return on investment, cost per lead. I have to know all this stuff because this is a serious podcast full of serious discussion. And I, myself, am a very serious man. Very serious. Deadly serious. So that being said, and with all seriousness, let's get started. Today I'm drinking Fanta. This is not I like drinking these small cans of Fanta because they make me feel super big, like I'm like I'm the Shaq. I almost called him the Shaq. Shaquille O'Neal, the Shaq. I love those small cans. But yeah, let's get right into it. The news. We have some. I'll start off with a quick book review because I told you guys on the end of the last one that I would start it with this one because I was delayed. If you want to skip the book review, then skip to minute 14. Minute 14. 13 minutes from now. Skip to minute 14. That being said, I read. Actually, it will not be that long. Let's go minute 10. Minute 10. Skip to minute 10, and we'll just start it there. But Killers of the Flower Moon. I just read this book. It's Killers of the Flower Moon: The Osage Murders and the Birth of the FBI. I wasn't gonna get this book until I read The Birth of the FBI. If you know me, I'm a little bit conspiratorial. I like conspiracies. I'm into the FBI. I know they get into some weird, wacky shit sometimes. So I saw this, and Killers of the Flower Moon. It's going to be a movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio and, I mean, so many others. It has Brendan Fraser. I mean, literally the list is like every person you just know. Every person you know is just in that movie. And it's directed by Martin Scorsese. So the movie is already probably going to be an Oscar, compete for the Oscar. I don't know if it'll win, but Killers of the Flower Moon, the movie looks so good. So I recognized the name, FBI. It had everything going for it. I picked it up. I'm not going to lie, it was a bit of a tough read. This is my first time reading a nonfiction book cover to cover. And while it wasn't what I thought nonfiction was going to be, I thought it was going to be like reading a textbook, which actually sucks. I would actually would rather waterboard myself than read from a textbook. This was a little bit more, he formatted it to be like a mystery novel, kind of like who's killing. So I guess the story structure is, and I talk about story structure like this is a fantasy, whatever. This actually happened. This is about the Osage killings. I don't know how I never heard of this. So the Osage Indians, when they were relocated via the Trail of Tears to Oklahoma, Oklahoma means red person, red skin, or something like that, or red man. Like that actually kind of blew my mind. I'm like, there's a whole state that just means red person, and it's still a state. But I mean, all right. They didn't change it to the Warriors or anything. Like, oh, I'm going to warrior state warrior, But yeah. So they got relocated to Oklahoma. They got really lucky because the land that they got relocated to turns out was rich in oil. They found oil like seeping up on the river, and they're like, oh shit. They tested it, and they're like, yeah, this is oil. We've got it somewhere here. So they got lucky. They the land, they went through like some sort of like litigation with the U.S. government where they maintained mineral rights to the property. So they began leasing out these plots of land, like these little squares of land, where rich people would come and roll the dice and build a a mining rig or whatever, like a drill, like one of those big pumps, and they would pick a square, like I imagine it like you're playing Battleship, like E7, and then you put your rig on E7, and you either hit or you miss. So they were trying to hit, oil. They would hit it. They would become an instant millionaire. And these plots of land, the leases were going for millions and millions of dollars per, whatever square acre. I don't know what they sold it at, but so the Osage became the richest people per capita in like all of the United States. It's crazy. They were the richest people per capita. So they were telling stories like the Osage, instead of fixing their tire, they just bought a new car. And they would have mansions, and they would have a driveway full of 6 new cars. This was like the 1920s era, so they were lavish. But the Osage weren't really allowed to spend their money because they had like a conservatorship. I is comparable. Someone who would manage their money, and they would have to ask to use the money because Indians were considered not smart enough. I mean, it's really fucked up, really, what they were doing. They were considered deemed not worthy to spend their own money. And God help, if you're a woman Indian, then you really can't spend any of your money. So this is where it comes in and gets a little spicy because, remember that where if you're a woman or a child Indian, Osage on the reservation, you can't spend your money. So people start getting sick. Someone dies. Some people die of mysterious causes. A few people die of sicknesses. They call it the wasting disease, which is not a thing. But so that's a little strange. Then the main character, the one that follows Molly Burkhart, is her sister dies, Anna Burkhart, and this sparks the whole thing because she didn't die from mysterious causes. She was shot in the head in a ravine. So now the people come, like private investigators, the Native Americans, the Osage hire private investigators. The private investigators do jack nothing. They start uncovering some stuff. One of the private investigators says he found something that's going to break the case open. He ends up getting killed, thrown off of a train, and all of his evidence is stolen from his hiding place. So, it starts to get a little dicey. Eventually, so her name was Ann something, Molly's sister Ann, who got shot in the head. Her ex-husband is married to a Native American Osage Indian, and their house gets blown up, literally nuked. They plant a bomb underneath it. So this is where the FBI comes. They're not the FBI yet, but they're like the federal government sends these guys. They're like old school cowboy type kind of cracking detective. They were more scientific than anyone else, better than private investigators. They were scientific and very, J. Edgar Hoover. There's a whole chunk on J. Edgar Hoover and how he innovated and created the one-page report system. Wanted everything to be concise and documented, all the evidence, innocent until proven guilty, all that stuff. J. Edgar Hoover was kind of a tight ass when it comes to that stuff. But so the Tom White, this old is a good old boy. He comes on and he starts investigating the shit. Tons of investigation, about 100 pages of investigation. Like literally 100 pages of the book. More people die. It goes on for a span of 8 years of these mysterious killings. He can't really get enough evidence on anyone. And I don't want to spoil the movie, but the plot twist is so intense that it was actually pretty wild. Like, not intense like I didn't really see it coming, although I didn't really see it coming, but it's just gut-wrenching because you realize how greedy these people are for money. Money makes these people do things. I mean, I would not even imagine doing. Like, money can get people to plant a bomb under a family's home to blow them up. So, and, you know, the overarching conspiracy is collecting these head rights. So one of these, you have to be a pure Osage to own head rights. And head rights is those chunks of land that they lease out. These head rights travel through the Osage, pure Osage line, but if you marry the Osage, it will go to the person who's it's married to, and your owner, especially if you're a woman. So this is where it gets a little dicey, because then this investigator, Tom White, notices that they're funneling these murders under head rights, and specifically women and children head rights. And then they either adopt the children and then kill them, or marry the women and then kill them. So, I mean, I'm not going to go too many spoilers, but we are at the 10-minute mark. So welcome back if you skipped. If you didn't, then I hope you enjoyed that. Oh, the overall rating for this book, I would have to say, honestly, just because of the pure, it's an important story. It's not taught in any history class. I didn't even learn this in my college, American history class. And this is something that should have been taught. But it wasn't. It's interesting and it's important. So I got to say 10 out of 10. The writing's pretty good. I mean, the guy's a little bit sloppy with his similes, and his metaphors are a little bit kind of wacky, but not wacky in a good way. Just kind of like the sky was golden, like a golden apple or something, kind of just plain. But I mean, he's an investigative journalist. He's not he's not McCormack McCarthy, right? So I don't expect him to be a master at the English language. But that being said, let's get right into the news. Let's just start it up. The news. We got a lot of news today, actually. We've got a lot of news. We got a lot of TikToks. This might be a long one, guys. I guess you guys already know how long this is because you clicked on it and it shows how long it is. I'm in the blue. Isn't that interesting? You guys already know more than I do. All right. Wanted to pay tribute to a fallen comrade. You know what happens, and really, I was thinking someone would die soon. Not because I'm trying to manifest death, but because it just felt like we haven't talked about a major death in a while. But here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Who died? Dianne Feinstein. Dianne Feinstein dies at age 90. 5-term senator and oldest member of Congress dies. So, I mean, I don't really want to talk ill of the dead. I don't even know if she... Okay, so apparently she was a Democrat, but the longest tenured female senator broke many records on her lengthy... So she was literally... This is the... I talked about this lady when I was talking about how old politicians are. This lady is getting literally wheeled in on a stretcher to Congress to talk about whatever, abortion. So she's getting wheeled in. She looks like that alien that Mexico revealed or whatever, that dried up little, I'm an alien, that little guy. But I want to take a moment of silence to, a moment of silence for, I like to play this for our fallen. Brings a tear to my eye. Moment of silence. Turns out that she literally single-handedly put 1 million black people in jail or something. 'Cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget
forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend.
All right, we got to get one of these too. Because I'm Irish. Because I'm Irish, we've got to play this too. This one's for you, Dianne Feinstein, age 9 million. She was the wealthiest member of Congress. Okay. Wait, real quick, before we actually pay tribute to this person. She was one of the wealthiest members of the chamber, with a net worth of approximately $94 million. Yeah, she must be really ethical and moral to get $900 or almost $100 million while serving the public. She's a public servant voting on your behalf. She's looking out for you, but she also has a net worth of $100 million. That being said, rest in peace. Rest in piss, bozo. I can't wait for the... Here comes the crowd. It gives me goosebumps every time. Like, literally every time. It's gotta be because I'm Irish. I'm seriously gonna cry. Dude, this song is so good. This song is so good. I swear that song makes me almost cry every time. But then I realized I'm sad that Dianne Feinstein died. Possibly one of the... I mean, how do you make $100 million on Congress? I mean, she was in there for like, I guess 100 years. She said she's running for re-election. Oh my God. Ending gun violence, combating climate change, access to healthcare. I'm all in. Hell, dude, she could pay for everyone's healthcare. Nah, $100 million actually kind of poor. All things considered. The seasoned politician married 3 times. Yes, ma'am. 2 divorced after a few years, and she remarried a neurosurgeon, Bertram Feinstein, who died in 1978. She then remarried Richard Bloom, an investment banker. Okay. All right. You got a husband who's an investment banker. Now we're cracking open. Now we're cracking open Dianne Feinstein here. We're cracking her open and cleaning her out here. So you marry an investment banker. You're a politician. I don't think that there's any sort of conflict of interest. Are we thinking that there's a conflict of interest and maybe some of what you pass might help him in his investment banking? Maybe you're passing along some suggestive intel that will raise both of your portfolios. Maybe because you're a congressperson and you can't be hurt for insider trading, maybe he's passing you along information that he's hearing from the inside of the banking world, right? And vice versa. I mean, come on. Another one lost. Okay, who's next? Who's next? These old people have got to go. And I'm not saying that in like a malicious way. I'm just saying that they've got to start, like, I don't want them to die. You know, I don't want, who's that guy? Something McKellen or whatever. I don't know what that guy's name is. McConnell. Yeah, something McConnell or McCuckle. And I don't know what his name is. But I mean, that guy he's got to leave, right? So I mean, we might have these bagpipes play one more time for good old Biden might pop out. Hear those drums? Oh god, you know she's in hell though. Oh, you just know she's in hell. Dianne Feinstein burning it. If there is a hell, oh, she's there. Well, almost 100%. And I don't mean to speak ill of the dead, but you know, some people are so sick and twisted that they have rotten cores. Like the core, like an apple. Like maybe she's an apple and she looks really nice on the outside. She's sitting on the display at Walmart. It's super shiny. She's right on top. You open it up, you crack it open, and you see that there's worms inside. It's a rotten core. I think that might be Dianne Feinstein, and I think that she may have been doing some nasty business with trading and insider trading, and you know, general like just stuff that would be so absurd. Who knows if maybe her husband went to Jeffrey Epstein's island. God knows what they were up to. It was the 70s, baby. They didn't even care about anything. They were like literally shooting people in the open. They were planning assassinations of presidents. That being said, rest in peace. God, I just keep on imagining her face, like. God, this song's a masterpiece, though. The song, it really is a masterpiece. Amazing grace. Let's get a little soulful. Can we get a little soulful here in here? You know. Amazing grace, so sweet a sound that saved a wretch. I'm not gonna sing. I'm gotta bust out those pipes every now and then, right? Okay, let's continue with the news. God, my voice actually hurts from singing. Just that much. I can't sing. The news. More news. Rest in peace, Dianne Feinstein. Dianne Feinstein dies at 1,050 years old. The oldest person to have ever lived. All right. New York is gone. New York has floated away. Person hangs out of submerged car in... Jesus. I didn't know the flooding was actually this bad.
Yes, yeah. Rain so heavily that it's flooded here in Brooklyn.
Holy shit.
Oh, my goodness.
Nah, fuck that shit. Dude, this bus driver wants to kill himself. He's like, if I keep on going, if I just drive into the subway, we could all sink right now. I could take us all to the heaven, to the quiet place. Oh, this is filthy too. God knows what's in that water. Like God knows what's floating in that. That water is actually so nasty. It's probably beyond sewage water. I want to get that guy from TikTok that takes samples from shit and then looks at it under a microscope. That water is probably so filthy. Road scum. Sewage. We're talking, I mean, all of the shit that the homeless people have on the streets. Oh God. Oh God. I mean, I can't even imagine. Oh. Okay. So this is the subway in New York City, and it's flooded from above, and there's still a street performer playing the saxophone in the background. That's dedication. Water is flooding down the streets, the stairs into the subway. I would never get into a subway. I would never go low. Like, you don't want to go low during a flood. I would never. If I have to walk 4 miles, I'll swim. I'll swim that shit. Put me on a canoe. Send me in. Is this the second time New York has flooded recently, or am I crazy? I swear to God, I've reported on New York flooding. This might be the second time this year. This is a dangerous and life-threatening storm, Governor Kathy Hochul said, "I'm declaring a state of emergency across New York City, Long Island, and Hudson Valley due to the extreme rainfall we're seeing throughout the region." She urged people to take steps to stay safe and never attempt to travel on flooded roads. No deaths. All of New York flooded and no deaths. That's big. Yet. In New York City, Mayor Eric Adams warned people it is time for heightened alertness and extreme caution. Some of the subways are flooded and it's extremely difficult to move around the city. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. It's bad. It looks bad. But is it a sign? Is it one of the end times? You know, every time, like, when I was a kid, I always thought that the end of the world would come, like, and it would be like 2012. The world would split open, and, you know, lava would pour from the Earth's core and spill onto the planet, and skyscrapers would topple in onto, you know, and it would be like you're flying a biplane and dodging, you know, whatever they're doing in the movie 2012. That's kind of what I imagine the world ending as. But I think it's not gonna happen all at once. It's not gonna be, the world's not gonna kill itself all in one time. It's going to be slow and it's going to be painful. Unless we nuke ourselves, in that case, it will be very short and sweet and spicy. But it will be, yeah, the death of the human race will be very, very slow. And it's going to be floods. It's going to be natural disasters. It's going to be earthquakes. They won't all happen at the same time, but they will be very slight increase in, and you'll be like, oh, every other week instead of a school shooting, it'll be every other week. Maybe a combo of the both, but maybe a school shooting plus an earthquake, you know, and then it gets into, you know, maybe they make new buildings that are better against earthquakes, right? Still weak against school shootings, but, you know, the schools kind of rock and shake when the earth does, and it's kind of like rubberized, and it you know, we might see this, right? And then the floods, maybe everything will be built on stilts. Who knows? Maybe we all just go underground, right? In rubber sealed, maybe. Who knows? But, you know, natural disasters are always fun. Natural disasters remind you, I think that the reason natural disasters are fun is because it reminds you that you don't have control. And I think too many people want control because everyone wants control. Everyone wants to feel like they're doing stuff. You want to throw yourself down a flight of stairs just to prove that you have free will, right? Only me? Okay. But you know, everyone wants to have a feeling of control. They want to think that tomorrow they'll wake up, when in real life you could die. You could die driving to work, on the way to work. You could, listening to this podcast right now while you're driving, you could die. That guy to your right might merge into you and end your life. Imagine if I'm stressing someone out. I might stress myself out because I've listened to this on drive to work as well, and I might be stressing myself out now. Matt, you will die. You will die at 12:25 p.m. But yeah, no, natural disasters are interesting because they remind you don't have control over anything. The world, you are an insignificant worm writhing. We all are, and that's what's fun. Is everyone's as insignificant as another person, unless you're extremely wealthy. In that case, you have major significance because you can alter the course of human history. But the normal people, the 99.999 whatever nines, not million nines, that percent of people, I mean, you're a blip. Gone. Here, gone. Here, and then gone. Earthquake happens, you might, you know, whatever. Lightning strike, dead. It could happen. You never know. But I guess a less natural disaster is going on in Philadelphia. So New York got a natural disaster. Philadelphia got a unnatural disaster. If it would play.
Police are vowing to arrest more suspects. The acting commissioner calling last night's actions disgusting and making very clear that those who were looting last night were not protesters, they were opportunists.
Sure.
Looters descend onto Center City, Philadelphia last night, hitting several stores in the area, leaving a path of debris and destruction behind. According to police, the looting started at 7:58 p.m. at this Foot Locker.
Great. The looting started at a Foot Locker.
Breaking glass and leaving sneakers strewn on the ground. More instances of looting happened in quick succession. First, this Lululemon store left ransacked, picked over merchandise scattered all over the floor. Minutes later, looters were seen barging into this Apple store.
Oh my God, all these iPhones!
And others broke into this liquor store.
Everybody in this city should be angry. Everybody that goes to these businesses should be angry.
Upwards of nearly 100 people were involved in the looting, and at least 15 people were arrested.
We made arrests, and we will continue to make arrests.
The looting came on the heels of peaceful protests against the judge's decision to dismiss all charges against
Wait, what was his
Philadelphia
name?
police officers.
Wait, what's the kid's name? Say his name. Eddie? Okay, this is actually crazy, because this is actually fake news. Now listen. End police brutality. Say his name, Eddie Irizarry, right? Now, they said that the protesters were not... They said that the looting was not related. They said that the protest was not related to... The protests were not related to the lootings. Now, remember that they said specifically, the New York mayor said specifically, listen...
The acting commissioner calling last night's actions disgusting and making very clear that those who were looting last night were not protesters, they were opportunists.
Yeah, very clear. Now listen to this video of a woman who is an opportunist.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat.
So this is them breaking into what looks like a liquor store.
Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat.
Wine and good
Yes.
spirits.
Everybody must eat. Everybody
So she's saying everyone must eat, but I mean, she looks like she already ate. She's like,
must eat. Everybody must eat.
people in the chat, this is so funny. This is a TikTok live. Oh shit, why are you not going in? She's getting hearts. Yo, laughing emojis, laughing emojis.
Everybody must eat. That's what I'm talking about. Rest well, Eddie.
She said, "Rest well, Eddie." So now are they connected or are they not? Maybe this one person, maybe only this one person was a protester. Okay? So we've established that there's at least one person that was looting that was also a protester. Rest well, Eddie. All I'm saying, look, all I'm saying, I'm not trying to say that they were all there to burglarize. It wasn't a peaceful protest turned, smash and grab, which it could. Well, I mean, it could have been, but
On the heels of peaceful protests against the judge's decision to dismiss all charges against Philadelphia police officer Mark Dial, who shot and killed Eddie Irizarry during a brief traffic stop last month.
rest well, Eddie.
Police Commissioner John Stanford said he believes the looters were not motivated by the Dial case.
I believe as well. I am fully convinced that they had nothing to do with each other. Not only were they not connected, but they had zero to do with each other. Not even the same people. Here's what happened. The peaceful protesters showed up, and that whole group, 100% of them left, and then probably later that night, a new group with no people that were at that protest showed up, and then they began looting. That's what happened. That's actually what happened.
Had nothing to do with the protest. What we had tonight was a bunch of criminal opportunists take advantage of a situation.
So, can I call the people that looted during George Floyd, can I call them criminal opportunists? Or will that get my YouTube video taken down? I'm seriously considering saying that because, I mean, that sounds like what he's saying. look, it was a peaceful protest, just like the George Floyd. I mean, mostly peaceful. By the way, mostly peaceful. At least they didn't. At least there was no people lighting buildings on fire. A Papa Murphy's not on fire. That's cool. No overturned cars. Actually, I don't know, but like I'm not trying to be racist at all when I say this. But why is it? And this is a genuine question. Like imagine I'm a child. Like imagine a child asks this question, because this is kind of where I'm coming from. Why is it mostly okay? I can't even. Okay. I'm not even going to ask that question, because my video. Not only will my video be taken down, but I will be taken down. But I mean, I don't even want to get started. I mean, I pretty much just buried myself, so it's what it is. But I mean, I really don't care, because it's like, can it just be Hasidic Jews next time? Can it be Hasidic Jews? Or can it be I don't know, hillbillies in a Bass Pro Shop next time? I just want it to not be a trend, I don't want it to be something that I think about. I don't want it to be something that I think about is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't want that to be something that I'm like, oh, like, is this a pattern? No, I want it to be hillbillies in a Trader Joe's, right? Or a Bass Pro Shop, or a Cabela's, or a Duluth Trading Co., or a Home Depot. I just want it to be hillbillies next time. That's all I'm saying. That is literally all I'm saying. Is next time I want it to be hillbillies in a Home Depot or a Duluth Trading. So there's tons of awesome stores where they can get in, but that's all I'm saying. Tweet at me if you want. Tweet at me if I literally do not care, because I'm right. I don't care because I'm right. Here is Lauren Boebert. Lauren Boebert actually might be the coolest politician of all time. She was getting her big MILF tits squeezed during a showing of Beetlejuice. So I can't really show this video, but the person that she was with was grabbing her tits fully. And I really can't even watch this video too many times, because Lauren Boebert, I don't know if you know who she is, but let's see if I can't find Lauren Boebert. I think she's a MILF. Yeah, she is MILFy. Yeah, no, dude. Okay. Here, dude, she has a gun on her hip. So she used to run a coffee shop called Shooters, or like a bar called Shooters. She owned and ran and operated a restaurant called Shooters, and she has on her hip a gun because she's a shooter, and here she is now. She's a politician. She's got a bit of a weak chin, but she's got those glasses. She's got Sarah Palin vibes. Here she is with an old school. I mean, she's a full on MILF. Whoa. Lauren Boebert fires back at PAC, PAC, saying she was a paid escort. She used to be a paid escort. Lauren Boebert, paid escort turned politician. I mean, here she is with her nips out. I mean, I can't really even scroll down too long, because we're going to start getting into the AI images. I guarantee it. But, she's definitely a MILF. And this is definitely cool. What she's doing is pretty cool. One of the most, kind of down-to-earth things a politician can do is rip vapes in the back of a movie theater and get grabby. That's something that, I mean, is she not a cool politician for this? I think that this makes her so much cooler, and I will be. I don't even know her stance. I mean, she operated a place called Shooters, so I assume her stance is very pro-gun and probably anti-abortion. I just gotta say off rip, that's probably what she's for, just based on context clues. But her, letting her, this was also the first date. Letting the guy touch her boobs on the first date is a huge win. And not only is it a huge win for her, but it's a huge win for the dude who's with her. Because first off, I mean, dude, I don't even know, is she married? This might be like her second, she might be escorting right now. She might literally escort on the side, which is still more ethical than marrying a business, like a trade banker, an investment banker. At Dianne Feinstein, if that's your real name. Feinstein. All right, let's continue. Yeah, Lauren Boebert might be my next president. If Lauren Boebert runs for president, she should just run under the thing, the best tits in politics. All right, news AI. All right, we got a new AI news story. AI implants form digital bridge to help a paralyzed man move his arms and legs. I don't know, arms and hands. CNN, a 46-year-old Swiss man who was paralyzed after falling on ice has regained some movement after a world-first surgery that installed an implant in his brain that uses artificial intelligence to read his thoughts, his intentions to move, and transfers them to a second implant in his abdomen that stimulates the right muscles to make parts of his body move the way his brain wants them to. Thought-driven movement is how they describe it. Whew. This is heavy. This is heavy stuff. And guess where I found this? I found this on the uplifting news portion of the news page on Windows. So I found this on the uplifting news. This is uplifting because they gave someone his arms back, but this makes me very, very sad because they've implanted something into his head that is reading his thoughts and giving his arms movement. Now it's impressive, don't get me wrong, but it's scary. It's scary. Honestly, the AI probably is going to mess up so often and just start jerking him off. He just starts jerking off, just masturbating in public because of the AI just starts. It's like, no, the algorithm, it's like I know you better than you know yourself, and you want to masturbate right now on a public plane. On a public plane, you want to masturbate, and that's what we're doing right now. And he's like, guys, I'm sorry. I'm literally sorry. He's walking down the aisle, just like, I have no control of my arms. Artificial intelligence is making me do this right now. He blames, it's the great AI defense for public indecency. The great AI defense. The first man to publicly masturbate because of his AI arms. His AI arms start, touching Lauren Boebert's tits. Just start reaching. It's like, shit. His arms, he has to hold it down with his other arm. No, stop that. Stop that AI. And he's like, go, gadget, grab. Just grabs a tit. I mean, this could be fun. Imagine the implications. Now the implants are able to capture my thoughts of walking and able to transfer the stimulation to my lower back. The whole, he does not walk perfectly with the implant. He might never walk perfectly again, but he can walk. And the more he does, the more his body will actually repair itself. I spoke with my boss about a desk to rise so I can do some standing work. And he said, in the near future, I want to go for that. Jesus Christ, he asked his boss, so I just got a groundbreaking back surgery where they implanted an AI and I want to, exercise my legs. Can I get a standing desk? He's like, we'll look at it in the budget. We'll see if it's in the budget. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Yeah, we'll check the books. We'll get back with you. I'll CC you in an email with HR. We'll see if it's in the budget. Christ, that's sad. All right, let's go on to TikTok time. We actually have a pretty good selection of TikToks. I'm not gonna brag, but some of these TikToks are heaters. Let's see. There's one that's here it is. Okay, let's start here. Okay, yeah, this is the one. Okay, so this is a man who's talking to, I guess a sales.
Become a billionaire.
I don't know if this guy's a sales guru. His name is Chris Crow, which I mean, Chris Crone, which is probably a fake name. But so this guy, and this is one of those podcasts that exists only on TikTok. But Chris Crone is talking to this guy, and he's talking about his goals for
You
wealth.
want to become a billionaire.
No, I want to become a trillionaire. Where's this person?
And this isn't some sort of like satirical, joke. These aren't jokes. This guy's not a comedian. This guy's not funny. Well, I mean, he is funny because he's just crazy.
Become a billionaire.
No, I want to become a trillionaire. The richest person on the planet right now is around $200 billion, and 5 people competing in that space. They're the top 100 billionaires currently in the world range from 9 billion up to 200-ish. I am 43 years old, and I have this crazy health routine, anti-aging, everything with modern medicine. If you study the futurists, I'm going to be 140 years old. So I'm planning on 100 years. I have time to become a trillionaire. I know how many months I believe I'm away from being a billionaire because that's been a 13-year goal. I'm deep into private equity and growing companies, and just my social media company alone last year popped a 9-figure valuation. The goal of billionaire, that I set that one up in 2009, and I'm close. But no, I want to be a trillionaire.
Jesus. Well, I mean, good luck for him. Good luck for Chris Crone becoming the world's first Great. Okay, let me be honest. There are trillionaires. Trillionaires actually exist. They don't want you to know that they exist. They don't want you involved in their lives. They are Egyptian emerald miners or Egyptian oil barons who can, have been wealthy for so long, wealth within their families for so long. Those are the trillionaires. There are probably a few trillionaires on the planet right now, but we don't know who they are. I mean, if you think about it, Jerry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, is kind of a trillionaire because his BlackRock controls $13 trillion in assets. So I mean, that's a lot of money. But I just thought that was funny. I like seeing like those sales guru types people just absolutely just be retarded all the time. But here's a video of so Poland's running into this thing where people are Zelensky, everyone's favorite Ukrainian president, comedian turned president turned warlord, is he's trying to pawn off all of his immigrants to Ukraine and try to give them to Poland. And Poland's president said, we don't want them. And not only he didn't say that, he said, we took your Ukrainians. He said, we don't want your Muslims. So let's listen.
The lowest unemployment in European Union is Poland. The highest GDP after COVID in European Union is Poland. One of the lowest debts in European Union is Poland. So don't give us this rubbish about the need of educated immigration, as we heard yesterday. We don't need your doctors. We don't need your engineers. Take them all, and pay for them. We don't need them. You know why? Because there is 0 terrorist attacks in Poland. Why?
0 terrorist attacks in Poland. Why, do you ask?
Because there is no illegal migration in Poland. So don't give me this look Don't give me these arguments about the populism, because this is a fact. This is your data from Eurostat. So we don't need your engineers. We don't need your doctors. Take them. Do not teach us. Do not teach us about democracy, because we know what the democracy
Honestly,
is.
I really like this president. I don't know if they have a president or if this guy got there by murdering people, but I don't know what they got going on. Apparently he's got a democracy. He's talking about democracy. So Poland seems pretty chill. This guy seems pretty tough on the border, which we should fly this guy out to America, give him an American, green card, whatever, citizenship, so that he can run for president. And I guarantee you, if this guy became president, he would be like a front runner. I think he could beat Trump. Get this guy up on stage, let him start going off. But he loves Poland too much. This guy loves Poland. You can tell.
So learn from Poland. Be like Poland. Thank you very much.
Be like Poland. Stop taking in, I guess, Muslim refugees. Poland, that's a tough stance to take, my guy, but respect it. Respect it. Here's another video. This is from America. This is one of our, I don't know who this is. Some news lady. Looks like maybe she's a...
As you know, the statue...
She's she's in front of a bunch of flags. So it looks like she's someone important. And then a New York governor. This is the governor of New York. Okay. Kathy Hochul. This is Kathy Hochul. We just heard her. This is the second time she's come up. Interesting.
Statue of Liberty is inscribed. It says, "Give me your..."
So this is her in 2021. She's saying, New York is about giving us your sick, and you're ill, and you're lazy.
The Statue of Liberty is inscribed. It says, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled young masses yearning to be free, the wretched refuse to a teeming shore." And that statement encapsulates our values. We want people to come here, despite where they came from or despite the circumstances that drove them to this country and to this state. We say you are welcome here. You're welcome with open arms, and we'll work to keep you safe. We'll not only...
Also, she's saying that she's welcome with open arms, and then I guarantee you, if the second a homeless person shows up near her home, she is going to open fire. Probably has automated, flamethrowers that ignite them on her sidewalk.
We house you, but we'll protect you. So our message to the world is, send us your people, send us those who need the cloak of comfort that we can demonstrate as New Yorkers with big hearts.
So this is in 2021. It's about to compare to 2023. Just 2 years. So much can change in 2 years. So much.
Open arms, and we'll provide a safe haven.
We have to let the word out that when you come to New York...
This is 2023. We got to let the word out.
That when you come to New York, you're not going to have more hotel rooms. We don't have capacity. So we have to also message properly that we're at our limit. If you're going to leave your country, go somewhere else. But the smarter thing is to apply for asylum before you leave your country.
Go somewhere else. Hey, Buzz. Hey, Bucko. Hey, poor person. Go somewhere else. And we don't want you anymore. The smart thing to do would actually be to not be here. Because we don't want you. I know I said earlier we're going to welcome you with open arms and this is a safe haven. That was during COVID when everyone, I was scared of everyone needed to be coddled, right? But now we don't need you. We don't need you because we got too many people. Didn't they ship a bunch of migrants to like someone's house on Martha's Vineyard? I think I made a podcast episode about that. It was Martha's Graveyard, I think, or something like that. Like the homeless vineyard or something like that. I know I made a podcast, but that's my favorite part, when they just start shipping homeless people around and just start sending them. Move them around, change their place. It's pretty cool stuff. Let's see. I've got 2 more TikToks here, so let's watch this one. I love this video. I may have showed this already, but this one re-popped up on my feed. Every time this pops up, I have to share it because it's just such a classic. These are students graduating from, it looks like maybe like middle school, something like that. In I don't know. I'm not even going to try to guess where.
For Pakistan, I'll die for Pakistan. And
Pakistan. Okay, obviously. You said, I live for Pakistan, I die for Pakistan.
I live for Pakistan, I'll die for Pakistan, and I'll sacrifice my whole life for Pakistan. Pakistan, Zindabad.
Great!
Great!
I will make schools and help the poor people to study.
Yes, that's great!
My pledge is to help the people, all of the poor people of Pakistan.
You see, this is how we dedicate our life.
I will be a soldier and save Pakistan. I will make schools and help the poor people to study.
Yes, that's great!
My pledge is to...
I love Pakistan. I will sacrifice my life for Pakistan. I love Pakistan.
We all love Pakistan! Pakistan!
My pledge is that when I grow up, I'm going to demolish all drone attacks in my country.
That's nice. Gonna demolish all drone attacks in his country. See, this is what people are. Sometimes you have to put yourself into perspective of a child who grows up, and they know someone who was actually bombed by the United States government in a drone attack. And then they grow up and then they realize, I'm going to sacrifice my life for Pakistan to destroy the evil America. That's literally, this is the world they grow up. They grow up in a world where they are being bombed by drones. This kid's one goal in life is to demolish drone strikes in his country. We are causing trauma to children. And Obama.
All drone attacks in my country.
Wow! This is a strong message! No one will have courage!
This is a strong message.
I will never be slaughtered.
You will never be slaughtered. Great!
I'll study hard to help my beloved country.
Inshallah!
I will do anything for my country.
Inshallah!
Inshallah. So, I mean, that's a fun video. That's a fun video of little Pakistani kids growing up, letting the world know. Sometimes you got to let them know. Let's watch one more video. This is a day in the life video, not of a TikTok, Twitter, my day in the life of working at Twitter. This is a day in the life of someone who, so this is like... So we're talking about the girl on the left here. I couldn't get the video because this is the only video I found that was savable, and it's this girl reacting to this girl. Apparently this girl's account was deleted. She got so much hate for this shit, but she is like one of these weird influencer type of people that there's a certain bracket. Like if you make so much money, so you make a lot of money, and so now you're not worried with survival and like making it. You have so much money. These people start becoming like spiritual. They start like going to these weird camps and they start going on away trips. I have a friend that works for Lockheed Martin who's always on some sort of, hiking, backpacking trip, who's always, getting in touch with nature before he destroys it. So, I mean, it's interesting, and it's definitely a trend. Even in real estate, I see all these people. They're like climbing Mount Everest, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. There's a certain bracket of wealth that you reach when you become. You're like I want to come back with nature. Like the CEO of Twitter, after he sold Twitter, he his name's like Jack Madoff or something like that, or Jack Meoff. I think that might be his name. But yeah, there's a certain bracket where you get so wealthy, you like disconnect from reality. You're like, I want to become. You're like too rich to know what it's like to be poor, but you're not poor. You're not rich enough to be like. To like slum it or to like live like a rich person. Like you don't want to live like a rich person and go out to eat at Michelin star restaurants. So these people like they actually, you know what these people do? I think they want to face hardships. They never really faced a hardship at all in their life. I know a few people like this in my own personal life. They got into a car accident and their mom bought them a brand new car. things like this. They've never really faced, they moved into an apartment after being paid, their college paid for, their parents paid for the apartment. They never really had to like struggle for anything. It's this kind of person that, of course, and afterwards, I know these individuals will get good jobs, they'll get good paying jobs, and then they have to put themselves in a place where they experience some sort of hardship because they're boring people. They're boring people because they have no life experiences. They've been, spoon-fed reality for their entire life. So they have to like simulate like real world, like, yeah, I was in Jamaica and we almost got robbed this one time. You wouldn't believe it. It was crazy. They're lying to themselves. These people, they lie to themselves. They have to lie to themselves because their life is so boring. They have to tell themselves these sweet little lies. So this is a video of this woman who moved to a spiritual community in like the Guatemala or something.
An event coordinator at a co-creation community and retreat center.
Co-creation community in Guatemala.
These are some of my favorite activities here. Collaborative art.
God, the music is so loud. Collaborative art.
Fire ceremonies. So this is a fully white girl, probably named, I don't know, Stacy, Brittany, Brenda, something like that. Her name's probably Brittany. Let's say Brittany. So Brittany is at, Caitlin, spelt with a Y, Caitlin with two Y's, Caitlin, right? She's going to this co-creative community in Guatemala where her and all of her rich white friends are going to slowly appropriate their, and I'm not a big like appropriation whatever, but she is slowly going to assimilate herself into a native tribe where she will paint her face multiple colors and do dances and writhe on the ground when they sing. And then her friends will have to hear about it without end. Every Christmas, every gathering. Oh my God, we were with this one guy, our Sherpa. He was so nice. My Sherpa put me on his back and he carried me the whole way, all the way up the hill. I was throwing up constantly. My Sherpa actually had to suck venom out of my, that like the thing. I don't remember his name, but he was the sweetest little Sherpa, and we used to call him Little Sherpy. We would say chirp, 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 and he would come right along, and he was just the cutest little guy, and he got us all the way up that mountain. And we told him, we gave him $20 and he put all of our tents on his bag. We weren't even carrying anything. It was the easiest trip we did. That's the kind of people that this is. Aerial Silks. Music.
And look at this guy. So this is another breed. This is like the breed of guys. This guy's probably like high up on a tech team. He's like tech supervisor. He shows up for one Zoom call a day and does nothing. He gets a latte. DoorDashed to this co-community. This guy has his long hair tied up in a bun, has a nice big bushy beard, and that's kind of the look. And he's wearing like draping, a rug. He's wearing a rug.
Yoga.
Meditation. This person's getting face paint. Nice.
Dance.
And everyone's white. Everyone there is white.
Flow arts.
Workshops.
Tea social.
And this girl has tons of dreads. She got her hair in dreads.
And full moon gatherings.
Hi,
I'm Michelle.
Her name is Michelle. My bad. I was close with Brittany and Stacy. Michelle. My bad. That's my favorite kind of person recently. Has been the kind of the weird, like, there are a few people I know that if they were rich enough, they would be like that. But right now they're kind of just in the painted nails and ring phase. Those people, so if you have painted nails as a man and also wear a lot of rings, if you add $100,000 to your annual net worth, you will become kind of like that Sherpa guide person.
that's the same kind of vein of person. That being said, we're a little bit, we are a little bit over. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share with a friend. If you didn't, tell me why you didn't in the comments below, and be very nice. Be very nice about how you dislike my podcast. Let's see. Am I missing anything else? Check out my website. Nothing really. It's just an update page for all the new Instagram stuff like that. Any tweets I put will go up on the Instagram or on the website. It's theafromatshow.com. If you want to email me, it's theafromatshow with 3 T's, of course, theafromatshow@gmail.com. So email me, send me videos, anything you want. That being said, thank you for listening. Goodbye.